At home against Detroit's opening period, Ian Clark drives and slams. Raptors with a 9-point lead. Time winding down in the first half. Antonio Davis beats the buzzer. Raptors had a 11-point lead at the break. Third period, watch Alvin Williams with the turnaround jumper over Jerry Stackhouse. Williams with 17 points. Raptors in control. Then it's Antonio Davis, part of a 30.8 rebound night. Raptors win this one by 10, but Pistons still lead the series 2-1. Charlotte.
Plus, the Celtics look to sweep away last year's beaten finalists as the Sixers fight for survival in the NBA playoffs. All the details when World Sport returns.
There's his first score inside that three-point line.
Nothing serious lead over the defending conference champions, but here come the Sixers through Allen Iverson going coast to coast, splitting the defense. The defenders, Sixers by 8. Celtics came back, though, through Antoine Walker. Here nailing 2 3-pointers. He'd be 7 from 7 from three-point land. Still Sixers by 6, though. Sixers by 1 now. Walker doing it at both ends. There in defense. And then he's on the end of the move for the slam en route to 27 personal points. Later, here's Iverson again with a sweet move around Kenny Anderson. Spots up for the 3 en route to a 108-103, 76.
Year's 3-game first-round sweep of the Blazers. The two-time defending champions let their play in the court do the talking. Kobe Bryant helping Los Angeles build a 9-point halftime lead. Portland, though, wouldn't go away quietly. A 17-5 run in the third turns the tide. Scottie Pippen for Rasheed Wallace. The Blazers led by 5, but the Lakers pulled it out in the end. Just too many weapons in purple and gold. Kobe canning 25, Shaq at 21. Derek Fisher, his usual effective self from outside. The Lakers reach round 2. They will face the San Antonio Seattle winner. Minnesota's first-round failures continue. Dallas completes the clean sweep. Dirk Nowitzki, a man possessed. The 7-footer was effective both in and out, connecting on his first 6 shots. The German scored 17 of his game-high 39 in the first quarter. The Mavs held a double-digit lead for most of the game. The Mavs' game plan always is to push the ball, shoot quickly, and Michael Finley does just that. Dribble up, fire the 3-ball. Finley scored 30 points in the afternoon. The Mavericks send the Wolves to their 6th straight first-round exit. Steve Nash, the point guard, added 25 points and 11 assists for victorious Dallas. The Mavs get
ein Finish. Portland sah bereits wie der sichere Sieger aus. Kurz vor Schluss 4 Punkte Führung hier durch Rasheed Wallace und noch 15 Sekunden zu spielen. Dann kommt Kobe Bryant für 3. Aber trotzdem, 1 Punkt immer noch der Vorsprung für Portland. Noch einmal Kobe und der sieht Robert Horry und der trifft und das war der Sieg.
And that's John Stockton. Speculation might be his last NBA game. Here come the Kings. The bounce pass goes to Peja Stojakovic. 18 coming in the first half. Kings building a 6-point lead. The Jazz run now. Stockton with a runner. The Jazz would eventually take the lead, but the Kings kept their high-octane offense running and gunning. Doug Christie finding Chris Webber with the dunk. Stojakovic was the main man, though. As the Kings pull away late, they will go now and play Dallas beginning on Saturday. Stojakovic played all but 6 minutes in this one, top scoring with 30.
Well, we never thought it was going to.
Carter, a vocal cheerleader, and he had a lot to cheer about. Raptors looking good. Antonio Davis, the playoff veteran. Raptors by 10 at the half. Keon Clark working against the Defensive Player of the Year, Ben Wallace. Big game for Keon. He had 19. The Raptors steadily pulling away. The turnover now by Jerry Stackhouse. And Morris Peterson gets it and scores. He had 20, a career playoff best. The series now tied at 2 with Game 5 Thursday night in Detroit. The NBA and stars. Frenchman Tony Parker, a point guard for the Spurs, and Utah's Russian forward Andrei Kirilenko.
Round series. Nets came in with a 2-1 lead, and they went out in a hurry. Kenyon Martin with the slam. Then, at the end of the opening period, Lucius Harris beats the buzzer, but New Jersey trailed by 3 after a quarter. Second quarter, Pacers on the run. Kevin Ollie feeds Brad Miller. Miller cans the layup and hits the deck. A 3-point play. Indiana led 38-33 at the half. Pacers stayed hot in the third period. Reggie Miller, the great give to Ron Artest for the layup. Pacers up by 7. Austin Crozier cans the long 2. part of his 18-point night, part of a 13-0 run for the Pacers. Difficult night all around for the Nets. Jason Kidd on the break. Artest with the huge block. The Pacers force Game 5, which will tip Thursday in New Jersey. Tracy McGrady guaranteed a Game 4 win for his Orlando Magic against the Charlotte Hornets. He went out to make good on the promise by scoring 15 points in the third period alone. Fourth quarter, though, uphill battle for the Magic as the Hornets took control. 85-71 at that point. Things got ugly down the stretch. Darrell Armstrong has to be restrained. Charlotte wins this one 102-85. McGrady scored 35 points. It wasn't enough to salvage the Magic. They look to Lucius Harris, who hits the fadeaway three-pointer. Harris dialed and connected from long distance. The Nets didn't win the game, but one of their sharpshooters did come away with the play. Wednesday, showing good movement and shooting touch. You just don't find in your average giant. The Chinese player could be the first overall pick in next month's NBA draft. Ming said it's been a dream of his to play in the NBA since he first saw his first televised game many years ago. Now that dream appears to be on the verge of coming true. Celtics into the second round of the NBA playoffs, and they came out firing. Antoine Walker led Boston with 25 points. Celtics with an early 6-point lead. Second quarter, Philadelphia is on the run. The outlet to Allen Iverson. A hesitation move into the lane. He gets the off-balance jumper to fall. Sixers by 2 at the half. They turn it on in the third quarter. Iverson again. He finished with 28 on the night. Sixers pull it out. The series is tied. The deciding Game 5 Friday in Boston. San Antonio had a chance to close out Seattle in their first-round series. David Robinson sat out. His replacement, Malik Rose, struggling. He can't handle the pass. Misses the layup. Payton goes the other way to sets up Randy Livingston. Sonics with a huge lead. In fact, they led by 26 at the half, and the Spurs showed their frustration down the stretch. This one all Seattle as they win both the fights and perhaps the battle in the end. They force a Game 5 in this series as well. Versus Maccabi Tel Aviv for a berth in the EuroLeague final. The Greeks were ahead early on in this one. Maccabi's Anthony Parker, the crossover, the tough off-balance jumper keeps his team close. In fact, it was tied at halftime. Second half, Panathinaikos goes to Darryl Middleton inside for the layup. Panathinaikos lead by 5. They would pull away down the stretch. Damir Malomerovic with the ball, top of the key, driving the lane, scores on.
Boston Celtics meeting up with the Philadelphia 76ers in the decisive Game 5 of their first-round series, and Paul Pierce on fire. He could not miss. 29 points in the first half as the Celtics jumped out to a 59-47 lead. Third quarter time winding down. Allen Iverson, he had 31. Sixers had life, but all Pierce in the fourth quarter, knocking it down from the outside. He just kept hitting. He had 46 points. Boston in a rout. The Celtics advanced to the second round to face the Pistons. Of note, Larry Brown says he will be back as the Sixers coach. Down in San Antonio, Tim Duncan was back for the Spurs decider against the Seattle Supersonics. He was back, and how? Cleans up the Tony Parker miss. 27-10 San Antonio after one. He just kept coming. Working on Vin Baker here, face up. He had 10 points in the first quarter. Spurs by 17. Duncan getting everybody involved. Malik Rose is the beneficiary here. Duncan, 23 points, 9 rebounds, 7 blocks. Spurs roll into the second round to face the champion late.
Chris Webber came out in the second half with a vengeance. Webber, the drive and the stuff. Later, Vlade Divac to Webber for the layup. More from Divac, the assist again to Webber. 13 of his 20 points came in the third period. Kings up 82-74 after 3. Mavs trying to stay in the game. Nick Van Exel finds Dirk Nowitzki. He scores the tough layup. Then Van Exel in lane gets the semi-hook over Mike Bibby. Mavs are within 10, but the Kings too strong on this day. Bobby Jackson strips Van Exel. The Kings running. Jackson to Peja Stojakovic. He had 26. Weber and company already urging the Mavs.
Second round of the playoffs for only the second time in franchise history, and their challenge continued in style. Kenyon Martin with superb defense on David Wesley's layup. Second quarter, Nets by 1, but David Wesley goes baseline and the circus shot brings 2 of his 13 on the day. Now Charlotte by 1. The Nets would eventually bring home the win, however. Jason Kidd with that steal before closing in for the layup, en route to a 21-point game tally and a 99-93 Nets win. In the day's other NBA playoff encounter,
last year by the Lakers, average margin of defeat in those 4 games, 22 points. Shaquille O'Neal playing with a bum wrist that he hurt in a household accident earlier in the day. Shaq, stay out of the kitchen. Fourth quarter, the injury didn't bother him. That tied the game at 67. Then, Shaq, working the paint. Little baby hook, triple team. He had 23 points, 17 rebounds. All Lakers when it mattered the most. Kobe Bryant gets the floater to go. He had 20. Lakers win it 86-80 to grab a 1-game-to-none lead in the series.
Warm-ups.
In Detroit, game 1 between the Celtics and Pistons, and nothing going right for the guys in green. Second quarter, Jerry Stackhouse misses. Ben Wallace, the putback plus the foul, had 5 points, 12 rebounds. Detroit by 5. Late in the second, Stackhouse, strong left hand. He had 26 points, 50-43 Detroit at the half. Final seconds of the third quarter, Michael Curry steps back, beats the buzzer. Detroit gets it done. 96-84 is the final, so the Pistons grab a 1-game-to-none lead in the series. Illinois makers Michael Finley and company helped to quiet the cowbell-toting crowd at Arco. It's pretty good. So is fellow All-Star Chris Webber in the half-court set. Webber bouncing the ball behind his back to the backdoor cutting Doug Christie, who scored over Finley. Kings playing well on their home court. Christie, one of the best ball hawkers in the league, goes down. Nick Van Exel makes him pay, going glass up the pretty spin move. And with the score tied at 68 all, third quarter, Canadian sniper Steve Nash dribbles left, steps back, and cans the 3-ball. He scored a career playoff best 30. German giant Dirk Nowitzki bouncing back from a poor opening game, scored 22. Big win for Nash and the Mavs, who now get the split and head back home.